Welcome back. This is our final session, and every show I say this. I'm having so much fun here, and always with the guests. We have Ed White with us from Clear Captions, and he's going to tell us more about this captioning phone. When you talk about Clear Captions, what is that all about? What is it doing, and so on? So I'm going to ask Ed to highlight it. Now, you've seen the picture of the phone, but at the same time, you've also had his phone number, and we're looking at everything that we definitely need. But go ahead, Ed, highlight the features on the phone for us.
Well, the main thing when we designed the phone was to make it as operational to technology as possible,
Okay.
which means, having answering machine, having speakerphone, having the amplifier that's necessary, having tones, because everybody hearing is different.
Yes.
And so that's very important. So we come in, or I should say I come in, and I set the phone, not just plug it in and leave, but we also personalize it for that individual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So obviously being able to hear on the phone is very important because the FCC is paying for this program, and we want to make people happy and have this service. Even though it's free or no cost to them, we still want them to enjoy it and have a great experience using it.
Okay.
And so we spend about a half an hour programming the phone specifically for their needs, whether it's the volume, the tone. The phone has a flash that will activate when the phone rings on a color. They choose the color.
Oh, okay.
And so, in the font, because they want them to be able to read it as well. So we spend time really diving into making it a personal device specific for them. Yes.
Now, I got to ask, if you have this phone and you're coming to my house to put it in for me, would I be eligible with just what you know about me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
I would love to come to
I'm going to talk
house.
to Ed about this. So we're going to try and work out something because I could probably use this as well.
Yes, sir.
But does it have an answering service?
Yes. So the answer machine, what I love about the answer machine, and this is what people really enjoy about this phone, is that it has the captions on the answer machine as well. So a lot of people, when they play their answer machine, they'll rewind it 4 or 5 times because they can't hear what the person is saying. So the captions actually are on the screen so they can not only hear it, but read it at the same time.
Oh, man.
Yes.
This gets better and better.
Yes, sir.
Now, how much will this increase my phone bill?
It will not increase it 1 cent. Because you've, again, already paid for it. And a lot of people ask me that same question.
Okay.
They're concerned because, especially if they're on fixed incomes or, they're watching their budgets, there's always, they think that there's a catch somewhere. Something's going to be increased, but it will not increase your phone bill, not 1 dime.
Okay. Everybody that's watching this, and we're saying he's going to give us a phone. He's going to put it in for us free. There's not going to be any cost. There's not going to be any increase to our bill. It just sounds too good to be true.
I thought the same thing when they interviewed me.
Okay.
Now I'm blessed to help people.
This is fantastic. Now, I have other phones in my house, and you're going to give me one more phone. So this going to replace the phones, or how does this add to the other phone?
One of the nice things that we do is try to analyze what the needs are. Okay. And so if someone has, typical situation is I'll come into a home and they'll have maybe a base phone that has the answer machine, and they'll have 3 or 4 cordless phones. Well, my job is not to remove anything unless they wanted something to be removed. Okay. My job is to add to or make it better. Okay. So if they can keep everything that they have already, everything stays exactly the same. I always say it's like the phone fairy came in, dropped a phone in your house, and you had a new phone. Yeah.
Hey, okay, that sounds great. Okay.
Yes.
And how much more can you say on that? Okay, now, when you come in, and you talked about even if you have to wire so far, there's still no charge for anything. How long does it normally take?
It'll take, to plug the phone in actually and to hook it up and everything is usually about a 10 to 15-minute process. Okay. But I always tell everybody, I'm going to be in your home as long as you need me to be. Okay. Which means that if someone is 90 years old and I've got to go really slow and say things multiple times to get them to, understand, we're going to stay there until they feel completely 100% comfortable with the basic use of the phone.
Okay.
You know, and I was going to say, if they want an answer machine, we're going to set the answer machine. Because the answer machine itself, the tone and the volume is set for all those different functions of the phone. So like the answer machine has its own separate volume and tone. The speakerphone has its own volume and tones. The handset has its own volumes and tones. Because what people hear on the phone, what they hear on speaker is completely different than what they hear on the handset. And same thing for the answer machine.
Yeah.
So we want them to be, all those things to be set when I leave the house so they feel comfortable with using it. And my number's programmed in the phone too, so if they do need me, I do come out and take care of them.
So you just press the button?
Just press the button and it'll come right to me. Yeah.
Ah, man. Okay, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And you talked about some things that are coming in the future. Is this more, I'm going to say like Star Trek stuff that's coming?
Well, yes, and you know, obviously I'm not at the corporate office to see everything that's coming out. Okay. But I will tell you some of the things that are coming out that's going to be changing, revolutionizing the opportunity to have people hear better. So most of my situation, and when we talked about the 3 qualifiers to get the phone,
right?
You know,
repeat those 3 qualifiers.
Sure. And again, you have to have some form of hearing loss. Okay. You have to have a landline, and you have to have internet. And based on those 3 factors, we'll eliminate some people as we're talking to them. Right. So let's say someone doesn't have hearing loss. Well, obviously they don't qualify for this FCC, Americans with Disability Act program. So that'll be the first eliminator. Okay. But if they do have hearing loss, then we'll go into, well, do you have a landline? So that'll either be a yes or no. And then do they have internet? That'll be a yes or no. Right. So those things are factored into our ability to have this device working into the home. What our company is finding out there, we're losing about 25 to 30% of the opportunity to service people because either they don't have a landline or they don't have a internet. Okay. So what we've decided to do is, instead of waiting for someone to invent something, we did it ourselves. So we're coming out with a phone, and this is going to be very important. You know, a landline is very important to be able to communicate with people. Sometimes people, either whether it's budgets or fixed incomes or whatever the case may be, they don't have the opportunity to get a landline. Mm-hmm. So there's different devices out there that they can buy and go and put a landline in and pay an annual service fee. I don't want to give any credit to anybody because I don't get any commission from them, so I won't mention any names, but there are different services that you can go and hook up an internet and pay one time a year. We are going to have the technology to be able to extract a phone number. I'm going to be able to plug a phone in to the power, plug into the internet, and then extract a phone number from the local directory and give them a home phone number for free. And they can call anywhere and use that phone. So that's one of the new things we're coming out very shortly, and within the next, I would say, 60 days, 45 days, that device will be available in the marketplace.
Now, when you say call anywhere, if you don't have a landline, who are you paying?
So currently, if you don't have a landline, you're paying no one for the service because you don't have the service. But eventually, if we have that, when we have that phone, you won't pay anybody. You'll have a free, not only a free phone, I shouldn't say free, but a no-cost phone, but you also have a no-cost telephone number.
So you can call long distance?
You can call anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
For free.
As I was going to ask, outside the U.S.
Right. Yep. It'll be able to dial like a regular dial. And just call and use it. And people call you. You'll be able to see it, read it, and everything. Just like a normal phone would be. You know, I hate to say that we're getting into the phone business, but it looks like we are. And then there's one more thing that we're going to have.
What's that?
So Androids and iPhones are a big deal in today's marketplace. We are going to have an app that allows you to put your phone on speakerphone and have captions on it as well. So you'll be able to have the phone on speakerphone, talk on it, and the captions will be reading as you're talking on the phone for free.
On a cell phone?
On a cell phone. Yes. Yes.
Well, the big question I'm going to ask now, Ed, is How busy are you right now? Because I know you're going to get a lot of calls.
Yes.
And so you're going to be very busy here in Nye County, Pahrump and Nye County. And the other thing is, I know there are a lot of organizations around town that want you to come out and talk to them.
Sure. I'm very busy. My schedule is usually about a month. As far as the way we educate people, you know, is we don't advertise on, you know, regular, you know, formats, you know, radio, TV, and things like that, except for your show, which I love, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But the way we get to people is go to where they live. So senior community centers, senior housing communities. So that's how I really get the word out and educate. I'm about 3 months out scheduling right now to getting into locations. However, as far as installations, I'm usually about a week to 8 days in scheduling, which means if you called me today or tonight, I would be able to put a phone in your home probably within 3 or 4 days on average, and it depends. I mean, obviously, Pahrump is close to me, so I can get out here a lot faster than I could get to St. George.
Okay.
So usually those type of places, I usually go up once a month and take care of service, take care of the customers, replace things I need to do and stuff like that. But this market is really growing. I've been working with the chambers in different communities and realizing that there's a lot of people, a lot of seniors, a lot of people moving here. And so we are going to be looking at that as a company to make sure that I have the support that I need from the company, whether it's bringing in another person or another 2 people to help me grow this market. Okay. And so we're going to be able to get to everyone in a timely fashion instead of having people wait, because this market, the company, you know, everybody, and you know, as we live here for a long time, and everybody thinks, well, Vegas and Pahrump and all these little bed city towns have, oh, they're just Vegas. Nobody goes, nobody lives there in Vegas. Nobody lives in these towns, right? So the company really didn't realize what we had here.
I used to think that.
Yeah. So what we try, well,
you just visit.
Right. So we've looked at the numbers. We realize that this is a growing community. There's a lot of retirees here and a lot of people getting over 55. So we're going to be doing some things that are going to be changing this marketplace.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know I'm going to be in touch with you because I know several organizations that definitely would benefit just hearing your presentation.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about that after we go off. After the show ends today. And, but is there anything else in a few seconds we have left that you'd like to say to the viewing audience?
Well, I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate the opportunity to come on this show and be able to give a larger based word out than I have in the past. And hopefully, you know, again, if you have a family, a friend or a family member in any part of the United States, this is not only for people here in the Valley, but it's also for anyone in any part of the country, because everybody in the United States pays into this fund on your phone bill, and so everybody qualifies for it. Okay. So it's their phone.
Ed, I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for watching the show, and come back and see us on the next show. Thank you.